Hi guys, I am once again here with Dale at Scale Model World 2025 just to ask some questions about Airfix. So obviously you've just had a secret release that no one saw coming because you never released anything at Telford. How has the general response to that been?
It's been amazing actually. Yeah, so what was it, Thursday, teaser campaign started midday, everyone starts chatting about what it could be. We gave 3 bits of information away on Thursday. The fact that it was a new tool, what scale it was, and brackets, it is not another Spitfire. So just to try and stop anyone talking too negatively about it also. And then we just, seeing all the comments and people chatting on YouTube and everything else, and which has been amazing. And then obviously releasing it officially on 10 o'clock on Friday has been great. So we love doing it. It's never a guarantee, but it's always something I'd like to do. So and it's gone down normally on a Friday on setup. We don't get whatever we've announced. We don't get it out of the box and put it on the table at all. We keep it all away until Saturday. Just something special on Saturday then. But yesterday we put it all on the tables. We just let people film it, take photos, do whatever, and it's been so positive all day. So yeah, we're really excited. I can't wait for the stock to arrive and for modelers to start seeing how amazing it is on their workbench.
So obviously this is a 1/24 cell kit, so much bigger than I guess what a lot of people probably have modelled with before. How much more of a challenge is that to design compared to like a 72nd or 48 scale kit? It's
twice plus anything we've done in 48 scale. They always are. Okay, the research is largely the same, but then you're splitting out more part counts, so that takes more time in designing. It takes more time in tooling engineer because you've got more things that you need to ensure that fit together correctly, tool up, mold marks, all that sort of stuff. So it takes an awful lot more time. Obviously it depends on the subject matter and everything else. Matt, who is head of development for Airfix, this is his last kit before he was then promoted into his new role. His first ever 24 scale kit and his last before he was promoted. So that was amazing, and I'm really pleased for him that that his sort of last thing was such an amazing kit. So yeah, it takes an awful lot of time, 12 months in development at least. That again easily in engineering and tooling and everything else. The research that's gone into this has been another level altogether. Clint, our researcher, his forte is Second World War German Luftwaffe aircraft. So this has just been a dream for him. So yeah.
And in terms of like the subject matter, obviously a Bf109 marries quite nicely with the Spitfire you've had before that. Was that an intentional decision, or was it just based on what you thought would do well? Or
when we decided to do the Mark 9, which was just before my time actually, the guys knew that they wanted to do a 109 shortly after. We launched the we launched the Mark 9, and then it went down so well. It was like, we have to do the 109 next, and then maybe we can then start to look at something a little bit further away from fighters or whatever. I don't know, but well, I do, but whatever. But the Mark 9 sold really well. The Mark 8 sold really well. The Flying Dray is doing good. So we're onto a winner, I hope, I'm sure. I'll see the numbers when I get back to the office on Monday. And as I said, it's just another level up from what you've seen from us before.
Obviously, since you've mentioned it, the more recent Spitfire release, the Flying Dray, I guess was a bit different in that it featured additional parts rather than just traditional plastic sprue. That seems mostly positive, I would say, but there was a bit of mixed sometimes reaction because it's just something so different.
Yeah.
How do you feel it's gone down overall? Like, has the kit gone just really well as you would have expected?
Flying Dray?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has done what we needed it to do, which was put more Mark 9s into the market. Scale Model World this show last year, I was walking around the halls and there was no Mark 9s from the first release. There was Mark 8s, there was no Mark 9s, and it was very apparent there was still demand for it. Now, we could have done the easy thing, which is just go and run the Mark 9 again. But we obviously had a bit of a chat, and we wanted to use the opportunity to do something a bit different. So, different media, so resin. Spoke to our good friends in the Czech Republic about that. The masking set, which I know a lot of people have asked us to do. So our friends have done a masking set for that very kit before, so it wasn't difficult. We did a bit of research on the beer barrel, and there was some different stuff there that we learned. The extra parts, it's been interesting to see people's reaction to that. But ultimately, it was all about just getting Mark 9s, whether they were original or slightly different, back into the market. The pint glass is just an extra to try and help sort of boost the sales. So.
And with the additional parts, with the 109, there's a masking set included as well. So is that something that would potentially just be going forward, or is that?
Yeah, I'm not gonna stand here and say we're going to put them in every single kit going forward. Not unless everyone wants the prices to go up. And no one wants any prices to go up. But we certainly intend to do more of what you see with the 109. Time frames, again, that can vary. Equally, we've now sold our first masking set on its own, being the Lysander. Yes, some time after the Lysander was released. It was never meant to be that long in between them, but just we were learning, our supplier was learning, it just took that long. And it was fine because we weren't trying to release a masking set to a specific kit release date. So Lysander worked really well for that. From our friends Cartograph, the masking set in the 109 is Cartograph, not Eastern Europe, so that's slightly different. So yeah, that's more complexity, but I'm sure, and everyone's commented on, yes, we've been asking for that. So yeah, masking set in the kit, which is the maximum size sheet we could be supplied, and then the masking set on its own for the 109. The only difference is the masking set on its own includes the interior mask, clear masks, and only the exterior clear masks. Whereas the sheet, you get the two different nose spinner spirals, you get cross painting masks and bits and pieces as well. So there is a difference. With
the 124 scale kit, obviously there's a skill rating even on the side of it, and this is on the higher end of that.
Yeah.
I know like a lot of people see the bigger kits and think it can just be too intimidating. How do you sort of determine the skill level? Because I know different manufacturers have different ways of doing it. So
it's a good question, because we have a skill rating of 1 to 4. So anything 24 scale is always going to be a skill rating 4. And I don't think going into subcategories of skill level, the skill level, to understand the skill level at that point would be, you'd need a skill level to understand the skill level. So that's that. What I would say to anyone that likes the idea of doing it, but is perhaps intimidated about doing it, the way that our latest 24 scale kits are designed and the instructions are created for is to build sub-assemblies. So you're not trying to build the whole thing in one hit. You build, I think the first 50 odd points of the instruction sheet, it's just the engine. So you just build that, put it to one side, have a break for an hour, a couple of days, whatever, a month. It doesn't matter. Come back, build the next sub-assembly, and then before you know it, it's coming together and you're on to painting and stuff. So that's the best way that we've found to create our instruction sheets of something of that size and complexity.
So there's been a couple of, I guess, more interesting things come about Airfix more recently, where I guess what we've mentioned earlier about people just constantly saying it's another Spitfire, but then additionally, obviously there's been comments about Airfix in America, and I guess a lot of opinions floating around about that. What sort of is the situation with that, or
Spitfires or America?
Both, I guess. Like, what's the view on, I guess, the constant I guess people view it as a fatigue for Spitfires. I personally don't, but
that's the thing. Like, I will buy a car because I quite like the look of it, and you wouldn't buy the same car because you think it's ugly. I mean, we're all, going to have our own opinions. There's plenty of people at this show today that love Spitfires. There is a group of people that don't like Spitfires. Some convert, so and it's fine. Spitfires sell, and that if they didn't sell, we wouldn't keep on doing them. We don't force anyone to buy Spitfires. The money, you could argue that the commercials, the money that we get back from selling Spitfires, pay for other things that
more
people,
obscure things.
yeah, that do want. So they do want. So that's just Spitfires for you. We did feel as a team that it was really important with Thursday's teaser to say it is not another Spitfire, and I'm going to get some T-shirts made that say that as well. But so we see all those comments. We have a bit of a laugh about it as well. It's what it is. We're not the only people that do Spitfires, so it's fine. So with America, for a little while now, we have been working to change our selling model out in there, out in that country. It was apparent that the setup that we had wasn't maximising the opportunity for Airfix and other brands of the portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
That was pre any elections, pre any tariffs. It's got nothing to do with that at all. Yes, those things impact the business now. Those things would have impacted the business before changing to a sort of wholesale distributor model. But the impacts are no different. What we're doing in America now for Airfix is no different than Tamiya in the UK or Italy in the UK. It's just we've chosen a number of distributors who are very, very good at what they do. They talk to a number of different size trade accounts, indie shops, so independent shops, smaller model shops, large national accounts, those sort of guys. They can talk to far more of those guys than we can, even with our own office out there. So why wouldn't we choose that model? That's ultimately it. We want to grow our business in America, and we believe that this is the best way forward to do that. Do we need our own warehouse in America to do that? Absolutely not. And that's a cost saving associated to that as well. That isn't the main driver. The main driver is to be able to maximise the opportunity in the country. How many of our competitor brands do you see where they have their own office warehouse in each country? We wholesale into that business model that we've moved to in America is the same business model that we use in Australia, Germany. It's no different. So.
Over the last couple of years, you've released helicopters which have not necessarily just with Airfix, but I guess generally fairly absent from the market. So there is one aspect of your range that's missing it, starter sets, helicopter starter sets soon.
I'd love to do a helicopter starter set. Honestly, I would. And it's something we spoke about internally over a year ago. It's something we spoke to some external licensors about as well. We know what we want to do. We couldn't quite get to it. So through various reasons, which I won't go into, but it is definitely a gap that I'd like to fill. But you won't see anything from us next year on it, unfortunately. So
2 years' time.
Well, maybe. There's a lot of challenges out there. There's a lot of challenges internally that we've all got to deal with. I'd love to see a helicopter. I'm a big fan of helicopters. So helicopters and tanks are sort of my thing, really. So I will keep on campaigning for a helicopter internally.
They need more love.
Yeah.
The Stalwart came out this year. And I would say there's been mostly positive, but I guess some mixed reviews in terms of fit. And I've not built one personally, but that's what I've seen a lot of reviews in regards to. How does Airfix, I guess, deal with the feedback that comes out for a kit that's obviously already been distributed?
Yeah, so there was a number of things that went wrong with Stalwart ultimately. I can't go into the full details, but ultimately the tooling wasn't what it should have been before we moved it to India. Ultimately, India, our suppliers, our manufacturers in India, should not have let things go in the way that they had. And we'd seen some things and said no, and we've seen some good things and said yes, which is ultimately why we saw a mixed bag when it was released, and it got that far, despite we had said yes and no. That's reality. That's what happened. Kits had already gone into the market. We stopped shipping kits out of our warehouse for a little while to ascertain how big the problem was and how best to resolve it for those modelers that already had the product in their homes, for those retailers that had some on the shelves, and also the thousands of pieces that I had in the warehouse. It's very difficult to recall a product because you've lost control of it when it goes out. It's not like if we were doing direct selling, then you've got the contact details of those people. So you can't do that. They're all over the UK, they're all over the world, hopefully, if we've done our job right in selling them. So we felt that the best, and this shouldn't be the case, but the situation led us to the best way of resolving this is if a modeler opens their box up, because those that are already in the market, and they see sink marks or mismolds or whatever, they contact us. We will then send them plastic that is correct. And that's what we did. That's what we still do for anyone that phones us up, because their kits are still out there. And then any future batches, obviously we've made amends to the tool. Any future batches, we haven't got those issues. So it was a combination of things along the line, unfortunately, that resulted in it. It is not, there's a lot of people that blame our supplier, our manufacturer, our plastic injection molding manufacturer.
Yeah.
And yes, but actually it went before then. We should have caught it. We didn't. Well, we did. We thought it had been resolved. It wasn't, unfortunately. So yeah, I think in those situations, the best thing to do is hold our hands up and go, this isn't right. We know it's not right, but this is the resolve, or we are working on a resolve. Before you ask me, I'm going to say about the 72nd scale Jaguar, vintage classic Jaguar. And that was a similar but very different situation, which we are working on a resolve to even now. Some would say we went quite extreme with our response to that, which was we instantly issued credits to any trade accounts that have bought them from us. We issued refunds to anyone that bought them directly from our website. Like, we didn't tell them that this was happening. We said, we're doing it. A lot of trade accounts said, do you want them sent back? Like, because that's normally what we would do for any returns or anything. No. You do what? Donate them to a local RAF cadets group or whatever. We don't, because they can still be built. They just can't accurately portray the kit that it's meant to be. So we know how that happened now, and that was not an India fault at all, actually. So as I said, we're now working on a resolve to be able to release something that is what it should be.
I know with like the 109 that's just come out, seeing as we're talking about India, like you've done some larger kits that have been made in the UK. I understand that's still Indian production. Is that something you'd still look at in the future, of like further British production?
Absolutely. I think the product's got to be the right thing to produce in the UK.
Yeah.
It could be defined by where the tools are. It's got to be commercially correct, viable as well. The last thing I ever want to do is increase prices, but you get to a point where you have to. The world is an ever changing. So yeah, I would never say never to UK production at all. Actually, I think there are some prime opportunities for UK production. The 109 though, we felt the best place to produce it was with our partners in India, and even with shipping costs and everything else, it allows us to be more commercially viable with that product.
And the other thing that's really happened this year for Airfix, I guess, would be the return of space, because that's been quite absent for a while, and again, I guess quite generally in the market. What led to that decision to sort of revisit space as a subject matter?
Yeah, so it was far more than just a couple of us sitting in a room saying, let's do some space stuff, space cool, isn't it? People would buy it, which sometimes the discussions go that way. We did a huge piece of research actually. We have a head of insights in the UK, and we use a number of platforms that allow us to put surveys out across the UK that are nationally representable of the UK population. Okay, it's only UK, it's not German, but it gives you a good feel. And we ask people if they model now. If they don't model now, why not? What stops them? If it's subject matter that deters them, then what would they like to model in the future? And space was up there. So we've already got the tools for the two of those, the Saturn V and the Shuttle. We were already designing and tooling Artemis, so we'd already made that decision to do Artemis.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, we've got this amazing piece of research that says there is an untapped audience out there that know about your brand that aren't modelling because you're not doing the subject matter that interests them. Okay, this space stuff now needs to be gift sets. We now need to approach pricing differently. We need to approach our retailers differently as well. And that led us down the path that you see this year with those three space products. If you've seen any of their marketing across space.com and a number of other media outlets that are very non-modular, but if you're interested in space and you might be subscribed to stuff or whatever, then you would have seen some stuff, How It Works magazine in the UK, all that sort of stuff. We've been all over that. We're talking to a number of space type influencers on social media as well to get products in the hands of those people. So that ultimately is what led us to the product you see here today. But as I said, we'd already decided to do Artemis before that piece of research.
So one of the things you can see around here are modelling subjects that aren't, like the space, I guess, on every single table, particularly like there's the really wild SIG that does stuff that is not planes or tanks, it's literally animals or anything that's just a bit more unusual. Birds and dinosaurs when?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's a great question, and this research supports some of that. Well, it supports not just doing military subjects. And I can't tell you. I'm not going to tell you what else it said. But space wasn't top of the list. So yeah, we have to diversify. In just looking in this room, like as you said, there's plenty of people here that aren't just modelling military stuff, but also thinking about those consumers or those to-be consumers, if you like, those opportunities where they're aware of the hobby, but they're not doing it because the subject doesn't interest them. So that has to be a target for us. I'd argue, not that I'm being paid a consultant fee by anyone else, I'd argue that most of our competitors should most probably be looking at something like that as well, but all the time they don't. Good stuff.
I think I obviously say it because I feel like with a lot of the non-military subjects, you get a lot more women involved in the hobby as well, which is starting to become more common here, but I think particularly with those subjects, you tend to see a lot more women behind them as well. So it's a demographic I personally feel is quite underrepresented.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't know if you've noticed, but today, on 3 o'clock or something, on day one, I feel like there's been more women here today.
Definitely.
That's amazing. So it could be because I've just some research that we've done or whatever, and I'm just noticing it a little bit more. I don't know, but I mean, I'm looking across there now, and yes, it's largely blokes, and their hair is thinning or whatever else. But but I can spot women in here, and that's amazing. Now they might be supporting their other halves. The chances are they are involved in it. They might not want to talk to anyone about doing it, but yeah, great. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's definitely become, particularly again seeing it here, a lot more diverse, both in terms of like seeing a lot more people who are women or openly queer in the community, which is really, really nice to see, because it definitely wasn't like that when I started doing it or first came here a lot longer ago than I would like to admit.
Yeah, it's amazing that the hobby is, I think, very accepting of all of that, and it's a nice place to be with that. And your work in particular, Lexi, and you're going to blush, but you know what you do on YouTube is outstanding, and yeah, more of that, please, from you and others.
Me feeling very embarrassed.
Yeah.
You mentioned it earlier anyway, about getting t-shirts made with not another Spitfire, but generally will there be more like Airfix merch? It's like, you know, t-shirts and such.
Yeah, there's more merch now from Airfix. We've got new mugs, not any different, but it says brew down the side. We've got amazing water bottles. I'm not just saying that because I need to sell them, but they are very, very good.
I use mine. I genuinely use it.
It is very, very good. We've got caps now. What else we've got? It's the sizing, it's the warehousing, it's the printing. Yeah, I really want to do t-shirts because I think we could do some really cool, funny things with them that people would accept on the brand. I've seen a couple of people wearing knockoff Airfix t-shirts today, actually, and I'm like, yeah, we should own that. We should absolutely do that. So I'm kicking myself that I didn't organise the Not Another Spitfire t-shirts for Telford today, because it gets said to us so many times, but I understand why people say it, but let's just own it.
The meme exists, so might as well go with it.
Yeah, why not? So yeah, I would love to, but you have to remember though that type of work does somewhat distract from the core. Coins, you could argue that, but less so actually, because we work with an amazing coin supplier that does all the artwork and everything else. So actually the input is minimal, and the coin development doesn't go anywhere near our own dev team. I do all of that. So that's just a couple of minute chat and send some files over and away we go. So whereas yeah, there's other things that we'd love to do that would require dev time. Merch is completely separate, because I know that's come up before. It doesn't detract from dev time.
Well, that's everything I wanted to ask you today. Is there anything you want to say?
No, other than what I've said already. Thank you very much, Lexi, for being neutral and supporting the brand and the hobby in the way that you do. And I hope to see you again soon.
Oh, I'll be annoying you again soon.
Yeah. And yeah, thank you, the viewers. So thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
Bye.
So here we are, guys. Let's have a look at the box for the Messerschmitt Bf109 in 124 scale. Firstly, the decals. Wow, these look spectacular. Everything is so well packed onto this one sheet. It's a bit overwhelming, but as said in the interview with Dale, you kind of build bits and pieces of this in like modules to put together. So I imagine a lot of the decals will work like that. And to be honest, I've seen more on a 1/72 scale kit, so it's not as scary as it looks. The markings in this set look phenomenal as well. I'm really excited for all of the schemes and to see so many people make these. I think this is probably the least interesting looking of the schemes. I just know we're going to see so many of the RAF ones and the American ones, and obviously the iconic yellow nose ones as well. Like, it's just going to be spectacular. I can't wait to see all of these next year. I forgot to ask when these come out, but yeah, I assume we'll see loads of these next year. Now, I've never built anything in 124 scale, even though I have a Spitfire to do at some point when I feel a bit more comfortable with airbrushing, but the sprues look fantastic. Like, the detailing just looks amazing. All the rivets look just so well placed, and just feel like they're the right depth. At the same time, like, the parts seem quite logical. From a look, it's hard to tell, but it doesn't look like it's like over-engineered where it's, you know, like a lot of modern fighter jets, where it's parts for the sake of parts. This looks like a proper model kit where there's enough parts for it to be a fun, complex kit, especially for its size, but at the same time, it's not ridiculous, you know what I mean? Also, as sort of Dale mentioned in the interview, like, the engine can be sort of fully assembled. Obviously, you can also just cover the engine up as well, so there's lots of options you can have for this. And I'll be honest, if it wasn't for the fact that I'm like so bad at like modeling and still learning airbrushing, I'm actually like semi-tempted by this kit. Like, I think it would take me like a year to build it. I think I was not joking when I said that I would build a section and then spend a month, you know, doing something else, but this kit looks really good. It genuinely it looks so fantastic. I mean, it did feel like a lot of sprues, but it's such a massive kit. I mean, compared to what I'm used to, like 1/72. Yeah, I'll let you just sort of enjoy the rest of the sprues in peace. But I think you're going to be impressed, just as impressed as I was. I do want to apologise to the camera work as well, actually. This was kind of done on the fly. I wasn't expecting to see this, and I don't have like... Well, I probably could have got my tripod out, but it still wouldn't have looked as good because it wasn't sort of overhead shots that I normally do. I literally have the camera in one hand and the sprues in the other, so I did the best that I could. Oh yeah, the clear parts look phenomenal. Like, clear parts have been going from strength to strength with Airfix. Like, when you compare it to sort of the, I guess, 80s, 90s, like, these are glass-like. These look amazing. I did try and get my finger under it just so you can see any distortion or discoloration, because sometimes that's really clear. And I mean, just look at that. It is literally like looking through a piece of glass. It's absolutely incredible. Shout out goes to all of my subscribers and members, but a special shout out goes to my Advanced Kit Lover members, which includes Bobby G, Bob and Genevieve Outbridge, Dafty Duck, David Barber, Jeff's Dioramas, and my 2 longest subscribers at this level, Explosive Water and Crazy Locha. Thank you so much all for your support. And if you like what you've seen here today, make sure to subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date with my latest and greatest videos. And there's a recommended video here just for you. Have a good day. Love you. Bye.